Good morning, family. It's Tuesday, August 10th. This video comes courtesy of a room with 2 beds. Mainly because this room was about $800 cheaper than the other rooms. So you might be thinking to yourself, why in the world would a room cost that much money? You know what, I have no idea either, but given the amount of Japanese tourist around, I imagine someone pays for it. Now obviously I'm not going to be paying $850 a night for. A lot of you might be wondering, why are you staying in this nice hotel instead of at the BOQ or the BEQ? Well, mainly because those don't exist anymore. Navis decided to go and corporatize all of their BOQs, name them under the umbrella name Gateway Inns and Suites. Now most of the Gateway Inns and Suites aren't bad if you can get them. In a place like Guam, where there's only about 10 rooms for the multiple thousands of people assigned to Guam, it's very hard to actually get in and get the kind of cheap prices that you come to expect. So instead, they have rates that they've worked out with hotels on the economy. So you get to stay at some pretty nice places. However, if you're paying the non-governmental rate, you're paying for a lot. Today's video comes in 3 parts: lines, hotels, and world suck.
Now happily I was able to pick up my car today, which had arrived at the VPC nearly 2 weeks early, which is good because I got to get rid of the crappy rental and have my own car back. It also meant I got to spend multiple hours today at the Guam DMV. Now Guam DMV is pretty much like any DMV anywhere, so I got to spend multiple hours there, but it got me thinking about lines. Now I've always been fascinated with lines, especially how lines form in the absence of any special line making rules. I love how people will just start kind of congregating, then actually start forming a line, and then new people arrive and see how long that line is and say, I'm not going to wait in that line, I'm going to start a new line over here. Now there are 2 competing lines with people facing off against each other, each eyeing each other, trying to determine who's going to be the first one into the building. And then more people arrive and see those 2 lines, and they decide not to even make a choice at all and just kind of stand off in the background hoping to slip in there. It also gets you the opportunity to examine things. Now, I'm no economist, but I think step 1 invalidates the price up above. So after spending multiple hours there and having probably the worst decal application in the history of any decal application ever, I managed to get out with my car relatively intact. Part 2.
So when these special Navy hotels are booked up, as it nearly always is in Guam, the Navy decides to work out a contract rate with various hotels around here, getting cutthroat prices on really nice places. For example, this room, which they were trying to charge me $235 a night, the Navy gets for only $95 a night. Of course, I don't get that much in my TLA, so I guess some of it still comes out of my pocket anyway.
Now, Shmancy Hotel is in fact pretty fancy. It's got these nice glass elevators on the inside. Now, it has to be schmancy because all of the resorts on here cater to the Japanese tourist market, which is one of the major industries in Guam. So there are a lot of Japanese people here, and there's a lot of signs everywhere in Japanese, even more so than in English, which I found surprising. The Shmancy Hotel has a schmancy pool, schmancy French press coffee, schmancy phone in the bathroom, soap shaped like leaves, and a schmancy mirror which shows off way too many of your facial flaws. Overall, despite their insistence on calling something a 6th floor when clearly looking at the lobby below, it is maybe at best a 3rd floor. It's in general a pretty great hotel. Clearly, though, they have their competition, because that's what this section of Tumon is known for their resorts. I'd show you more, but it's kind of raining a little bit out.
It was raining slightly harder than I anticipated.
Be on the lookout for part 3, which is coming soon, where I talk about visits to countries which are not Micronesia and World Suck. I'll see you guys soon.